All right, what I'm trying to tell you about tonight is why I left my corporate job to start a small business, and not just any business, a fair trade business. So, in order to do this, I guess we should go back to the beginning and tell you my wife and I came to the United States in 1990, and the very first job I got was one in retail, working for a large department store company. That company taught me a lot of things and promoted me to a corporate buyer level. I had an aha moment. I'll get back to you in a little bit. Lost my job, got a second job, thankfully, in the wholesale world. So I had a retail experience, then working for a wholesale company, and doing that and being promoted, I had another aha moment. And what I mean by that, my first one is working as a corporate buyer. I had a meeting, I'll never forget, where we were negotiating with a supplier from China how to lower the cost of overbuying by 50 cents. And it seemed impossible, the math just didn't work. Person said to me, we don't care how it's produced and we don't care how it's done. The social element was really tough for me. The second job in the wholesale company, I learned about the production cycle, the supply chain, how toxic it is to the environment. And the persons, when I brought that up to their attention, they said, well, this is not happening in our backyard, so we don't care. So aha moment one was this disregard for humans, and the second one was about how little we care about the environment. So I thought to myself, well, there has to be a better way. There's going to be a place where I can use the skills and experience I have having worked for retail and wholesale, doing something different. Could a business be a force for good? Could our purchasing power be a force for good? During all this, I was having a lot of going on. Between 2012, I was volunteering with a not-for-profit focused on fair trade. I was getting my MBA at AMSOL. I joined a fellows program, which was like a sharpened leadership skill that my company promoted me to. In one of those meetings, I had this particular quote written on a board: what will you do if you knew you could never fail? So, as you can see, there was sort of a perfect storm of things. I had experience for retail and wholesale, knew the how. 4 years volunteering for a nonprofit in fair trade. I learned about something that I wanted to use that knowledge for fair trade. An MBA answered a lot of questions, and finally I said, I'm going to launch a business, the Zeebee Market. In 2012, I had a very small retail operation. I launched a website in 2014. I opened our South Grand location, joined the Fair Trade Federation in 2015, and expanded into our store in Maplewood in April of 2018. I've used fair trade more than once. What does it really mean? It's really a business model. It's a business model that puts people and the planet first over profits, ensures that the people who make the things we purchase receive fair and dignified compensation for their work. That's really what it comes down to. And it's guided by principles. There are many of them, there's 9. Cultivating new market opportunities. This beautiful product comes from Haiti. The maker will never be able to sell it and get paid reasonably in Haiti, but if we could help them create markets in the United States and sell their products at a fair price, that's one way that fair trade can support their work. Developing transparent and accountable relationships. It's all about finding a buyer and a seller at the table as equals, trying to understand how they can build a partnership in which both are treated the same. Today, the power is far too much in the buyers and not so much in the sellers. To build capacity, and to build capacity is to help those makers with financial and technical assistance and quality control so they can thrive and grow and expand. Nobody wants to buy something from a maker somewhere in the world and then walk away from this. Fair trade establishes long-term relationships so that they can thrive in the end. Promoting fair trade, I'm here today telling you about it. That's one way to do it. But more importantly is to raise awareness that there is a possibility of a greater justice in the global economic system where there is more equity between buyers and sellers. As another principle of fair trade drives our decision making is to pay promptly and fairly. That is one of the big ones. Nobody wants to be paid is fair pay for equal work. Men and women are treated the same. Pay them what they deserve, 50% up front when you place an order, 50% at the end when the order is delivered. And more importantly, it's not to undervalue the work. Support safe and empowering working conditions. And we ensure there's no forced labor, there's no exploitative labor, there's no unpaid labor, which unfortunately in many parts of the world there is modern slavery. It happens today. We don't see it. It's not in our backyard. But fair trade ensures that that's not the case. Ensuring the rights of children. Fair trade supports the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. Each child deserves the opportunity for a safe place, education, and play. In many countries, parents are forced to have their children work to complete a quota of production. We don't want that. Cultivating environmental stewardship, it is one of the other elements that addresses my second aha moment of frustration. It addresses, we know that our resources are limited and finite. We need to protect them so that future generations don't have to suffer. And fair trade is very good at reusing, upcycling, and recycling. Respect cultural, racial, and ethnic identity. This is obviously equitable. We want to make sure that we protect cultural heritage, and when production happens, we value and treasure forms of techniques that have been passed down from generation to generation. So while we're buying a ton of things from around the world, from mostly impoverished nations, we're also members of this community. And we do a program at Zeebee Market called Giving Back Days, where we partner with non-for-profits and we donate 15% of sales over the course of 4 days each month of the year. So my hope for Zeebee Market in St. Louis is to give customers in the city a chance and an opportunity to buy something under fair trade principles, because we have the opportunity to demand quality in the products we buy, but also demand quality in the lives